A boy named 25th Bam stood beneath an immense, uncaring tower that pierced the sky. He had nothing, no family, no memory, except a single girl named Rachel, who vanished into this monolith's shadow. Driven by a desperate need to find her, Bam pushed open the heavy door. Instantly, a blinding light swallowed him. When his vision cleared, he was in a vast field of golden wheat, surrounded by strange, floating creatures. A rabbit-like being, Hedon, the guardian of the first floor, greeted him with a chilling smile. "You are not chosen, yet you opened the door yourself. How irregular." Hedon presented a test: enter a cage with a giant steel eel and pop a ball within it. Without hesitation, Bam accepted. The cage snapped shut, the eel's metallic fangs bared, and Bam's heart pounded with a terror he had never known. But he had no weapon, until Hedon tossed him a sword called Black March. The moment Bam's fingers wrapped around its hilt, the blade began to whisper, and a princess of Jihad stirred inside. Little did they know, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. Inside the cage, Bam clutched Black March as the giant eel coiled and struck. Water surged. Bam couldn't swing the sword, he had never fought in his life. The eel's body slammed him against the bars, cutting his skin. Desperate, Bam pleaded with the sword, and the spirit within, a girl named Yuri Jihad, answered. With a flash of golden light, she manifested, amused by this strange boy. She lent him her power, and Bam lunged forward, piercing the eel's hide. The beast roared, thrashing, but Bam held on, popping the ball lodged in the monster's throat. The test was complete. Hedon, mildly impressed, granted him passage to the next floor, but warned, "You will be tested again. The true climb begins now." Bam stumbled through the portal, his hands still trembling, the Black March silent once more. He didn't yet understand that he had just taken his first step into a world that would break him and remake him in fire. But fate had other plans, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. On the second floor, Bam found himself in a grand arena filled with hundreds of regulars. A test was announced, the crown game, a brutal competition where teams of 5 scrambled to sit on a throne and hold a crown. The winner would be granted direct passage to the next floor. Bam, alone and untrained, caught the eye of a cunning boy named Kunaguero Ugnis and a giant spear-bearing crocodile named Rak Wraithrazor. An unlikely alliance formed. They fought back-to-back against wave after wave of attacking teams. Rak's roar shook the stadium as he swung his massive spear, while Kun's cold intellect turned every opponent's move into a trap. Bam, still learning to control the Shinsu inside him, unleashed a pulse of energy that stunned an entire wave of enemies. In the chaos, they seized the crown. For the first time, Bam felt what it was to have friends who saw him not as an irregular, but as someone worth protecting. But the victory was short-lived, a far darker test lay just ahead. However, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. The next test was hide and seek, a lethal game where one team hid and another hunted. Bam's team was the prey, and the hunter was Quant, a ranker who could kill them with a thought. Tension soared as Quant slaughtered the other team one by one, leaving only Bam's group. Just when all seemed lost, Kun orchestrated a brilliant deception, using Bam's mysterious Shinsu as bait. Quant, enraged, cornered Bam. But then, Bam's power erupted uncontrollably. A Shinsu field exploded from his body, freezing Quant mid-step. The spectators, including the test administrators, froze in disbelief. The irregular was not merely surviving, he was displaying a power that defied all known limits. In that moment, the tower's higher eyes turned toward the boy with no past. Rachel, who had been watching secretly, saw the blinding light and felt something she never wanted to feel: fear. Everything changed, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. In the final test of the floor of tests, Bam faced an examiner possessed by a demon sent by the corrupt ranker Run. The demon, a monstrous bull, gored Bam repeatedly. Just as Bam was about to die, the administrator of the floor, a godlike entity, intervened. The administrator's voice boomed across the arena, condemning the intrusion. Bam, barely conscious, felt the floor itself twist to protect him. In that divine intervention, Bam glimpsed the true scale of power one could achieve. The bull was obliterated. The test was over. Bam passed. But as he stumbled to the final door to reunite with Rachel, he didn't know that the safety he felt was an illusion. Rachel was waiting on the other side, her eyes dark with jealousy. She had watched him shine too brightly. The tower whispered a lesson Bam had not yet learned: sometimes the most dangerous betrayal comes from the person you love most. But fate had other plans. The true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. The 43rd floor's twilight cast long shadows as Bam climbed the final steps to the throne. Rachel stood there, backlit by a false promise of escape. "We can go higher together," Bam said, smiling. Rachel's expression twisted. In one violent motion, she shoved him off the edge. Bam plummeted into an abyss of black shinsu, his scream swallowed by the void. The last thing he saw was Rachel's tear-streaked face, whispering, "I'm sorry, Bam. I have to see the stars." Kun and Rak arrived too late, finding only Bam's bloodied handkerchief. A chasm opened in their hearts. The tower itself seemed to mourn as days turned into a hollow stillness. Bam was declared dead. But deep in the dark, a man with crimson rings on his fingers, FUG's slayer, Ha Jin-sung, fished out the broken body, his voice a cold promise: "You will become our god. Your light belongs to us now." The boy died that day. Viol Grace was born. Unknown to them, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. 6 years passed. The regulars of the 20th floor whispered about a masked figure, a living weapon dubbed Viol Grace. He moved like a shadow, completing impossible tests with brutal efficiency, all under FUG's command. Bam's eyes, once gentle, now held a dead stillness. His hair had grown long, obscuring the boyish face. He led a team called Team Sweet and Sour, orphans and outcasts who knew nothing of his true identity. One night, during a mission to retrieve the hand of Arlene, an artifact containing a fragment of the tower's origin, Viol's mask cracked. His old friends, Kun and Rak, infiltrated the same facility. They locked eyes. Rak shouted, "Black Turtle." Kun froze. Bam's mask fell away entirely. In that painful, silent reunion, Bam's programming shattered. He whispered, "I'm sorry," before FUG enforcers dragged him away. But the seed of rebellion was planted. The caged god began to dream of freedom again. Unbeknownst to, the true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. The hand of Arlene, a relic containing a map to the thorn, buzzed with ancient energy. FUG's elders ordered Viol to use it to open the path to the workshop, where they would forge him into a true slayer. But Kun and the resurrected team from the test floor intercepted the ritual. A fierce battle erupted in a collapsing cave. Kun's strategy was flawless, but Viol's power, amplified by FUG's training, overwhelmed them. Then Rak did something unexpected. He hugged the massive Shinsu sphere that Viol had launched, taking the full brunt and roaring, "I won't let you go alone, turtle." The sacrifice broke through Bam's conditioning. He turned on his FUG handlers, unleashing an uncontrolled wave of Shinsu that shattered the artifact and revealed the map. The old team escaped together, bloody but reunited. As they fled, Bam looked at his friends, and for the first time in 6 years, his smile returned, faint but real. What happened next? The true nature of the tower would soon be revealed. The 30th floor's workshop battle was a grand tournament that drew thousands. Its true prize, the thorn, a weapon capable of killing a king. Bam entered not as Viol but as himself, allied with Kun, Rak, and new comrades including the Princess Endorsi and the fierce Hatsu. The final match was a chaotic free-for-all atop a shifting platform. Betrayed by internal FUG factions, Bam faced a massive Slayer candidate, a giant named Hoachin, who had absorbed countless souls. The battle pushed Bam beyond his limits. As Hoken's blade descended, Bam's past rage, the ache of Rachel's betrayal, ignited. He fully embraced the blue or technique, darting through Shinsu like light, and struck Hoachine down. The arena fell silent. Then, from the wreckage, the thorn fragment rose, glowing crimson. It recognized Bam, and he grasped it. The tower itself shuddered. For the first time, the regulars saw a power meant to challenge Jihad's absolute rule. But fate had other plans. The true nature of the tower would soon be revealed.